So I thought I'd just make one more video for the evening, kind of just talking about basically my day, what I feel. Granted, I've been told that these videos make it seem like a woe is me type of thing, and really I don't want it to be the case. It's more of just, I want to talk about my feelings, want to talk about how things are going with me, just so there's also a record. Um, but yeah, drove from my friend's place, which is about an hour away from here, 45 minutes maybe, like at minimum. Drove to get some coffee and meet up with a friend, and him and I hung out for a few hours. Well, actually a couple hours, but and overall went, came back home, and shortly after went up to the spot where my ex and I actually first met, our first date, to exchange the last of our items. And we had a conversation, and she mentioned something that kind of resonates with me, and that is, despite the breakup, it motivated me to actually get behind driving, to get my license, to really push for more independence. Granted, I don't have the money or the funds to live on my own, or at least live with a roommate, not yet. But it's nice knowing that I have that ability to just keep going, despite the fact that I don't want to. I don't want it to seem like I'm the hero of the story, because I'm not. I'm the one that actually initiated the breakup. And actually, for a long time, I've implied it, insinuated it throughout our relationship. I think it was more just the fact that I was getting tired of all the things that were piling up. The stress of, finding a job that can pay enough to provide. Because I grew up with the idea that a man has to be a provider for his would-be wife. And that's not a good thing, because that means that someone's dependent on you, and you're just leaning on someone for support. Granted, it's nice to have someone for support, but to lean on them, and when that person's gone, you don't have support, then that's where it becomes a problem. So I recognize that that's not something that is really feasible, especially nowadays. Nowadays, both partners have to work just to make ends meet, and maybe even just to save and participate in the economy. I mean, hell, I'm not really, I'm not struggling at the moment, but I can't seem to find any other job that is in the field that I want to get into that pays enough. I mean, granted, I could go and try and become a teacher, but yeah, it's just, with schools nowadays, it doesn't even seem worth it to sit down and try and educate a bunch of people who just don't want to learn. It's sad, and I don't want to participate in that. I do like tutoring. I feel like that is, a step below a teacher, not in a bad way. In terms of responsibilities, it's a step lower, but you can make a lot of money if you establish a network. And honestly, I enjoy helping others with their coursework. Plus, and I like seeing the applicability of just solving problems and telling people how to actually solve, their homework problems, because they can take that ability and apply it to their, maybe their research or maybe their job one day. So that's something that brings me joy. And it would bring me joy if I can make videos talking about it, but I need to wait on, a more stable paycheck before actually shelling out the money for, a giant chalkboard to do videos on. So, um, but anyway, it does pain me though, knowing that today might have been the last day, potentially, that I would see my ex. And I would love nothing more than even just be friends. If that's all it ever is, then I'm grateful for that. You know? Because I feel like even if we are friends, it is still a piece of me, a portion of me that is in a person. You know, memories, um, good times, you know? And I do want to be the man that she loved, because that man was better. He had goals and ambitions, and you know, I'm starting to just rearrange my goals and ambitions, but I'm starting to build them again. So I think, despite how rough today has been, I think it just gives me something to look forward to. You know, whether that future be potentially with my ex, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Great. If not, then at least we have memories of each other for the rest of our lives. And I think that's something good. I think that's something special. I mean, it's going to be something that maybe you revisit in your last moments. You know, you see your life flash before your eyes, and part of your life involves being with that person. And I know sorry doesn't cut it. It's actions that speak louder than words, obviously. That was the only good thing that my dad taught me. You know, one of the few good things. But, you know, I'm not trying to worship him anymore, because I realized that he just wasn't a good role model for me at all. So anyway, but I don't want to make these videos to seem like it's, to make me seem like a woe is me character, because I just want to talk about my feelings. That's really it. I don't want people to feel sorry for me. It's more of, hopefully I get all of this out there, and maybe some people have advice as to how, I can cope and handle things. So far I'm just constantly trying to distract myself, make videos, and 421 of you decided that, this person's interesting enough to listen to. That makes me happy, but don't pity me, don't feel sorry for me, because at the end of the day, I'm the one that made the decisions that led up to this. And that's just something that I have to live with. And it also pains me to know how much hurt I've caused. But the only thing I can do is learn the lesson and to move on. So, with that, I'm going to try and get to bed here in a few minutes. Wake up tomorrow, maybe go buy a cup of coffee, maybe make some coffee. I don't know how I'll feel in the morning. And try and have a good day tomorrow, because I have some things this week that I'm looking forward to. So, anyway, hope you guys have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye for now.